Cocoa decree, the vision hump decree.
Give me half a chance, and I'll become an outstanding adventurer for sure.
Special yakitori for sale. Come and try some. Special yakitori for sale.
Cocoa decree, the vision hump decree. What could be next?
Astra Abyssosk.
Thanks over and over again.
Isn't even worth mentioning.
Let's see. What else do I have left to do today?
Where's the person Ayaka told us about?
Why are you doing this? Why leave all of a sudden, after all these years?
Precisely. It's much too sudden. We've had no time to prepare. The children are desperate for you to take them out to play. Please, we urge you to reconsider.
That must be the guy Ayaka told us about. Let's go over and see.
Ah, you must also be here to try and convince Tejima to stay. Tejima has protected this place ever since he arrived here 30 years ago, keeping out the treasure hoarders, fending off any monster. But now, all of a sudden, we will gladly apologize.
If you want my opinion, it's clear that Tejima had done nothing wrong. I can't claim to fully understand it, but I could tell that he'd lost something very... Truth be told, we aren't sure whether trying to...
Seems like he's a well... You must be Tejima. So...
Me? It's not a question of why I want to leave, but a question of what reason I would have to stay. True. And what made me want to come here 30 years ago? I don't have answers to those questions because I can't remember any. In the past, I knew I wanted to stay here.
Okay. Well, in that case, but if you... Oh, maybe if you just...
Oh, that reminds me.
I keep it.
Oh, yes, you do. And what's...
Perfect! So if we want to keep Teji...
If you don't mind, we will leave you to...
This looks like Tejima's diary, all right. Let's see what we have here. Today, the villagers and I got together to cook dry braised salted fish. I messed up and burned mine a little, so I had to pretend that it was... Today, I helped rescue a kid who had fallen in the water. After I pulled him, I went kite flying today. The string broke, so I chased after it as fast as I could. Seems... Huh? I went to pray at the shrine again today and stayed there a while. The Omamori you gave me has faded a little, but now that's the kind of info we're... So this is the Omamori Tejima wrote about. Interesting. Looking at the color and the design. But anyway, if he had this with him all the time... The soil looks like it's been disturbed. Must be something pretty amazing if it made him stick around for 30 years. It looks like a Konda village. Sounds so familiar. Where is that place again? So the reason Tejima came here was to wait for someone. But he's been here for 30 years. Oh, guess they didn't show up in the end, huh? Well, let's go give Tejima his stuff back and take it from there.
I'll be. That's certainly my handwriting. And I guess the Omamorian letter belonged to me too. But I have no memory of anything that's written in this diary. Still, it's clear that I was waiting for someone here, and that I chose to wait for 30 years. Over the years, I must have made a note of anything interesting. Anything that I could share with her when we were finally reunited. And just look at all the things that did happen over the years. The time has flown by so quickly. 30 years feels like the blink of an eye. How could I have forgotten something so important to me? Now that I think about it, when my vision was taken from me, it felt like I'd suddenly been hollowed out. Love, regret, everything I felt for her, it's all disappeared. No, not especially. After all, I've forgotten who she was. Her face, her voice, the things we experienced together. I barely recall any of it. It's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. As if all these years have been nothing but a hazy dream. I think maybe not. If this is something I waited most of my life for, I suppose I should carry on waiting. Although, what if she were to turn up eventually, only to find I didn't remember so much as her name? Wouldn't that be upsetting for her? When I think about it like that, I do feel a slight tinge of sadness in my heart. How curious. Why am I thinking like this when I don't even remember who she is? It's just like that feeling of emptiness, the feeling that something is missing. Thank you both for helping me reconnect with my reason for staying here. I shall remain here and keep waiting for her.
Tejima seems to be dealing okay, but still, it makes Paimon really sad. Seems it's just like Ayaka and Tomo were saying. If you lose your vision, you lose all your hopes and dreams too. That certainly explains the state Tejima was in earlier. At least we were able to help him, weren't we? Well, let's go find the next person. According to Miss Kamisato, the second one who lost their vision is a samurai from the Tenryou Commission.
What delicious tea.
They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Inazuma. The ones actually enforcing the Vision Hunt decree. But why would they take action against one of their own? Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's happening.
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food. We demand an explanation.
How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about emergency provisions.
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential. Do you understand? Not some goods to be pocketed by greedy samurai.
You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this.
Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kurosawa's gang, no doubt.
What? We heard the commotion and...
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. Perhaps you can help us settle this matter. This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for distribution. In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he suddenly refuses to give us anything. He's keeping the provisions for himself. I just know it. We'll starve without them.
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him helping her rule the nation.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. Maybe we should talk to Kurz.
I've never even heard of these emergency provisions. I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's my own family can barely get by as it is. No, that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off in my work. Apparently, I'd even disappointed the Raiden Shogun. And that's why they confiscated my vision.
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt decree. Why would you be unworthy of your vision?
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to remember the details. All I know is that I would perform certain things every month. don't recall what they were. And it's not just that. I have this unsettling feeling, like someone owes me something.
Does it have to do with the missing emergency provisions?
I didn't take any. Like I said, if I was taking them for myself, I wouldn't be going through such hard times right now. To top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders. If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself.
But we better confirm. Let's go round up those treasure. We should be able to follow their tracks.
I wonder what's on the other side of the ocean.
We really outdid all those samurai houses packed with goods. You haven't seen anything. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on You Demand.
These seem like the treasure hoarders were...
Another test subject.
Go as one! Go as one!
There goes all the Mora. We worked hard to steal that, you know? Come on, boss. Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use someone like you. Kurosawa. So he's the one who sent you after us, huh?
So what did you see?
Food supplies. You kidding? I didn't want anyone else to see it. But now that you've caught us, how about we make...
You've got a deal.
Huh? What the... There's nothing in here but IOUs!
Yeah. And they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store. We better talk to this miss-up. As for you guys...
So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOU. Shut it.
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. We've got everything you need. Can I help you find something? Or perhaps there's something you want to inquire about? Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa.
Whoa! Let's not... How did Kurosawa end up owing you?
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his...
So that's how he was getting those... But why did he have to purchase like usual?
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much they need. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them so he deemed it necessary.
Wow. And no one ever appreciated...
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. If you ask me, had Kurosawa of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. As for why he chose to spend his own money, if you're still curious, why don't I see? Most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his
Sword?
Oh, didn't he? I've asked him about its origins. In hindsight, I regret... Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Oh, but before... Information. Don't worry. I won't charge much for information about Kurosawa.
At least we now know where the emergency provisions are coming from. Let's go talk to Kurosawa again.
presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders?
That just about sums it up. It turns out that you really were distributing emergency provisions, but they were all purchased at your own expense.
Strange. Is that real? I don't really have any such recollection. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why? But I could not deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, I could sense that my body was somehow reluctant to do so. And this sword was once wielded by my father. I remember once when I was young, I wanted to sneak out. What did he say? It would seem that I forgot many important things from my vision. All I can remember now is my father telling me and said to me, with this sword, you should.
Hey, if you look carefully, there seems to be some words engraved on the hilt. Can you recognize the words?
Virtue and justice? Somehow those two words seem to explain everything now. Taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. But what use are virtue and justice? The Tenryo Commission sees my vision, and the irony of all of it is, I'm incapable of being a good person.
Yet another. When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa's. In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah. Fortunately for us, you don't have a vision. Let's go find the next poor soul. Their vision taken is supposed to be a famous sword master around these parts. Hyman heard that he's the present-day master of Meikyo Shisui art. Sounds pretty impressive. This is his dojo. Luckily...
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong.
Maybe, but things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but
It's just because he's been possessed. That's all. What?
Hey there!
Who are you? I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to hurt. Don't make me draw my blade.
No! You got it so wrong. We just came here to,
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about them, but then we got here and over...
From the... Please, accept my apologies. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. He's not able to take on any new disciples. I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, Sensei's name is Domon. Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He once said that his goal was to become the best sword master in the world. And so, even while training us, he could... But then...
not long ago, Sensei had his vision taken away. He hasn't been the same since. He says the strangest things. Oh, Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think... But if I'm honest...
The Grand Narukami Shrine?
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest shrine on Narukami Island. The head... Not that we'd have any means of involving the head shrine maiden, of course. But even one of the ordinary shrine maidens from the Grand Narukami... So don't worry, Nanako. Sensei is... The exorcism will take place this evening. You're both...
So, losing your vision can go...
decided to come. Just now, when Nanako was when she asked him who the people were, it looked like he was in great distress. He was all the while he kept calling those names. Some of them we knew. One of them was Anzai. He used to be a fellow disciple of since they wouldn't stop calling his name. The ritual has now begun. Please, excuse me for a moment while...
Huh? Who's that sneaking around? We won't let them get away. Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up? Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up. Aha! Suspicious person sighted! Let's go!
How? Are you sure? Unless...
Excuse me? And what are you doing sneaking around the...
Bad news? I don't care to talk about that time anymore.
His senior?
Anzai? Yes, that's me. Because I don't wish to see Domon. When we were young, we trained under the same sword master. I had begun training 5 years before him. Practitioners of Make-Yoshi Sui art seek to achieve still, but Domon was different. The first thing he did when Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. Sensei said that coveting the title of the best sword master, barely days into his training, showed that he had a fickle mind. I thought so too at the time. But Domon, only then did I realize that it was Domon who had long since freed his mind from all agitation. He was consumed by his singular desire to become the best in the world. He sought nothing less than perfection in the art of the sword, and nothing could deter him from this goal, no matter what stood in his way.
Sure sounds like he meant business. So how come you don't want to ever see him again?
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that I would succeed our sensei as the master of Make-Yoshi Sui art. Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. I had trained the longest. Everyone had high expectations from me. Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred, I lost not just the match, but later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei too. After that, I wanted nothing further to do with him. So, when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind, my first reaction, I decided to quietly come and see if it were true. Then, so you see, I came... Okay, you've heard my story.
Seems like we got... Still, Paimon's not sure we should bring him...
You're saying he isn't possessed? Does that mean he's just lost his mind? But
Nanako, please.
I am sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign. But spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, and all is certainly not lost.
Lady Yai?
is the head shrine maiden of the Grand Knock?
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed, and I am unable to say for certain whether...
Excuse me, Miss Inagi.
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you, I must leave now, but we will meet soon.
Who'd have thought Lady Yai herself would...
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned and...
No, that's not what I meant at all. I just mean this is Lady Yai. Anyway, given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei,
Sure! After all, who knows? Maybe we'll be able to... Lady Ai? Oh, no wonder Junya is so excited. She has a really striking presence. Also, is it just Paimon? Or did she look right at us just now? It was probably nothing. It's not like she's ever seen us before.
Keep away. Keep away from me. I gave up the art of the sword. Please, let me go, I beg you.
As you can see, Lady Yai, Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He appears to see those who have lost to him in duels past, gathered all around him to persecute him.
Lady Ai, it must be a possession, right? This is nothing like him at all. In the past, no matter what came his way, he would always face it with a confident smile.
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei is not possessed by any evil spirit.
But then does that mean he...
Yes. This is a change in the person himself. Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. With his wits impaired, he finally descended into madness. As one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his predicament, it does nothing to prevent his descent into the depths. As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision. For to be stripped of one's vision is to be stripped of one's ambition.
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Yai, even without his ambition, why should he suffer such a dramatic change? How does that explain his descent into madness?
Your school practices Meikyo Shisui art, does it not? Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. What a fine notion that would be if any in this world could ever hope to achieve it. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward, and who fled enraged when defeated by his junior. And then there was an aged swordmaster who was aggrieved enough that he crossed blades with a disciple he himself had taught. Then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and beloved fellow disciple, and defeated them both? Can one truly remain unagitated, of still mind in moments such as these?
Lady Ai, I'm not sure I understand.
The path of the sword master is filled with twists and turns. It is no small undertaking to pursue the position of greatest sword master in the world. It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands and cut down the hopes and dreams of others, even those of one's closest companions. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him to rise above the pain of these encounters, to focus on the way ahead. When that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself. As he battled his growing anxiety, he slowly descended into the state you see him in now. Much like a certain fatally flawed friend of mine.
Poor sensei. To think he's been suffering so greatly.
I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Father, Sensei, Onsai.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that Onsai? Where did he come from? Did he follow us the whole way here?
Onsai, why are there two of you? Is that you or a ghost? You're here for revenge, aren't you? I knew it would come. I never should have.
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kindly. But I didn't come here to settle a score. It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. You did nothing wrong that day. I couldn't face the humiliation. That's why I ran. I don't think most of the people you beat along the way would hold it against you. On the contrary, when you cut our ambitions short, we entrusted them to you in the hopes that they might carry you further. Now I know that we can't place our hopes in you any longer, since you've been stripped of your ambitions too. But that is no reason to strip them of theirs. Follow the way of the sword all the way to the highest peak. You taught them that, didn't you?
But what if one day the same thing happens to them? I put everything I had into trying to become the best. If there's a chance they'll end up like me one day.
Have you asked them what they think?
Sensei, After you rescued, I can't know whether I will suffer in my future. I want to keep going until the day that I can stand before everyone.
Nanako's far from the only one.
Goodness. You see? Being stripped of your ambition is something that's never happened to me, so I can't claim to understand it. But I do know what it feels like to have your ambitions. So, just as I once placed my ambitions onto you, you are not in the same position that I was. When I left, I had nothing to my name. But you have a great number.
I'm sorry to have made you worry. I no longer have the resolve to become the best in the world. The empty, but as your sensei, this is my promise.
You can count on that. I'd be checking in, but I am now used to the life of a wanderer. I do not belong in the dojo anymore. Well, don't just stand there still.
So even though his ambition was taken away, his disciples can take it over on his behalf. Guess that sort of solves this one, huh?
Traveler, a moment, please. Lady Yai has some words for you.
So, my intuition was correct. The wind that blows from afar carries fresh life to these shores. For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment. I have high hopes for you, child. Don't disappoint me.
Ooh, Lady Yai seems to have taken a real interest in you. She seems super mysterious. Paimon's so curious what she really meant by all that. We can come back to it another time. For now, we should go report back to Miss Kamisato.
By the protection of the electro arc.
Oh, Ayaka! Guess who fulfilled all your wishes? Huh? Ayaka! Huh?
Traveler, Paimon, it is a pleasure to finally meet you both face to face. I have heard all about how you helped our three friends. My sincerest thanks to you.
Yeah. Short of getting them their visions back, it seems like there's no way to really help them. Ayaka, how come this time you get to come out and meet us in person?
Because now that you have done the three things I asked of you, I consider you to be my friends. As you will observe, I dispense with the screen for Toma also.
Oh, wait a second. But isn't Toma your, servant? Paimon's happy to help and all, but Paimon sure as heck did not sign up to be a servant.
Oh, Paimon, you are most entertaining. Toma is first and foremost my friend, and was so before he ever became my attendant.
Oh, okay then. Ayaka, you seem pretty different out in the open compared to how you are behind the screen. Alright, we can be friends.
Thank you both kindly. Back to the matter at hand. You have now witnessed the pain of those deprived of their visions. What are your feelings on what you have seen? Perhaps in the eyes of a deity such as the almighty Shogun, The lives of those who inhabit the world are inconsequential. Thunders roar, lightnings flash, the winds assault, and the rains descend. All these things take place with no regard for the feelings of the common people. But I believe that surely you understand what they must endure. It seems that perhaps now you can appreciate my feelings on all of this. In which case, perhaps you would be willing to reconsider your stance? You will? Really? Naturally.
All right, bravo, my lady. You were right all along.
See? I told you she wouldn't reject them. I'd placed my trust in the right person after all. Now then, given that the remainder of our discussion pertains to matters of a more confidential nature, perhaps we could move to the Komori Tea House? We ought not to involve other members of the Yashiro Commission.
Well, here we are again.
Please continue without me. I'll keep watch.
So, what's the deal with this place anyway? What makes it your favorite meeting spot?
This is land that was gifted to the Yashiro Commission by the Shogun. The Kamisato clan has the exclusive right to plan, build, and repair any property on this land, and even to allow or deny access. Such privileges exist due to the Yashiro Commission's role in managing ceremonial affairs. Oftentimes, it is not appropriate to discuss details in front of bystanders.
Oh, Paimon gets it. Gotta keep a bit of mystery, right?
Once the number of ceremonial affairs conducted in the city began to decline, our forebears built a tea house here. Only members of the Yashiro Commission are permitted to come and go as they please.
Makes sense. Perfect place for a secret base.
In any case, we can talk freely here. I presume you have a few questions that you wish to ask me? The almighty Shogun. I've seen her on but only a few occasions, most of them formal ceremonies. She inspires awe, commands respect, and exudes a sense of absolute authority. But as I recall, there was something else about her that struck me even more deeply. It was her almost complete lack of any emotion. In that sense, she appeared to me to be less of a ruler and more of, well, an executive official, I suppose, focused exclusively on her single goal of implementing eternity, acting accordingly without feeling. Of course, we have tried on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, each time a proposal to repeal the decree arrives at Tenshukaku, it is promptly vetoed by both the Tenryo Commission and the Kanjo Commission, and subsequently scrapped. They invariably adopt a stance of unconditional support for the Shogun's decisions. They have no interest in discussing anything. It almost makes one wonder whether they had a hand in the Shogun's sudden decision to issue the Vision Hunt Decree. The issue is this. For the vast majority of people, the Vision Hunt Decree is something that has no implications whatsoever. After all, it is but a tiny minority of people who receive visions. Moreover, it is not unknown for visions to spark jealousy in others. Because of this, the attitude of most people towards the Vision Hunt Decree is one of indifference.
How can they be like that? Paimon's getting mad.
Nevertheless, in addition to us, there is also the resistance on Watatsumi Island.
Resistance? You mean like an army fighting against the decree?
Yes. Many who have lost or fear losing their visions have rallied together under Sangonomiya on Watatsumi Island to form a resistance group. To say a little more about Sangonomiya, historically, there has always been some conflict between them and the shogunate of Narukami Island due to their different belief systems. But I do wonder whether there may be some other agenda behind their resistance movement, beyond merely fighting the Vision Hunt Decree.
Ooh, Paimon has a question though.
Oh? What would you like to know, Paimon?
Have you got a plan yet to fight the Vision Hunt Decree?
To be honest,
we do not.
What?
Please, do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt decree is tantamount to challenging a deity. Coming to terms with that is already a difficult step to take.
So what are we gonna do?
Well, for the moment, all we can do is try and reduce the harm that is being caused by this decree. For example, by providing vision bearers with safe refuge, or manufacturing counterfeit visions for them as a contingency measure.
You're telling Paimon that there are people out there who can make fake visions?
Don't underestimate the talents of the craftspeople in Hanamizaka. To the naked eye, their counterfeits are indistinguishable from the genuine article. The problem we are facing right now is that Master Masakatsu, who was providing us with counterfeit visions, has recently been arrested by the Tenryo Commission.
Darn! So they found out about it?
Yes. We knew it was not a long-term solution, and that it was only a matter of time before it would be exposed. But we cannot simply abandon Master Masakatsu. Exactly. I feel the same way. But given mine and Toma's identities as part of the Yashiro Commission, breaking him out of prison would risk dragging down the reputation of the entire Kamisato clan should we be caught. That would only serve to cast suspicion on any future activity we might seek to attempt. By no means, when you are ready, go to Hanamizaka and look for a fireworks shop run by the Nagonohara family. There, you will find someone who can help you.
You can find everything and anything